Hi and welcome to the big entertainment quiz. Hopefully you spotted in the last two test bits of video footage with me speaking that there was no sound. Obviously I was doing that just to test you all, not actually because I didn't know what was wrong and why there was no sound. Obviously yes, I had no idea, but it's all working now. Hopefully. Let me know in the comments on the YouTube chat and we'll get started with the quiz in about 5 or 6 minutes, just after 8 o'clock.
I'm not sure I understand.
That was Siri joining in the conversation, so I'm going to turn him off too. But we will get going shortly. In the meantime, for the next 5 minutes, feel free to check out our sponsors, Chelmsford Brew Company, fantastic local brewery making fantastic beer, and McGovern & Co. Brilliant estate agents run by the wonderful Brian McGovern. They really are fabulous. They're doing very well. Check them out. They know what they're doing. We'll be back with the quiz in about 5 minutes time, just once I've made sure that everything's absolutely working and we don't have any technical problems. I'll see you then. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you can hear me, and welcome to the Big Entertainment Quiz with me, Andy Poole. I'm going to be taking you through all the rounds and hopefully entertaining you for the next hour or two, depending on how quick we are at getting through it. And, of course, hopefully you'll have a good time and support the Mayor's charity. So the Mayor of Chelmsford's charities this year need money because obviously we've had a terrible year for events to fundraise, and this is one of the many ways that we're raising a few extra pounds. You can donate at justgiving.com/crowdfunding/ Big Entertainment Quiz 2021, and you can do that at the end once you know that it's been an enjoyable quiz, or you can do it now in the vague hope that it might be fun. I recommend the former option, but the latter is also great because then I don't have to pay any attention to making this good. Anyway, the quiz itself is going to take the form of 6 rounds. After each 2 rounds, we'll mark and find out how you're all doing. You can share your scores and any comments in the YouTube chat below the live stream. We're not streaming on Facebook Live at the same time, if you're wondering about that. We did try that last time. We did one of these, and it was truly, truly awful. Everything went wrong, and Facebook are terrible. Hey! Apart from the fact that we use them to obviously publicise this and get everybody on board. They're wonderful, really. I'm just making a joke. So, we've got 6 rounds. You'll be answering 8 questions in each of those rounds. The whole thing this time is themed around entertainment, of course, but primarily around the lockdown and a few things that aren't necessarily to do with it. So, should be quite interesting. Hopefully, you'll all have all of the answers and do incredibly well. I should mention that our sponsors, as per last time, are the wonderful Chelmsford Brew Company. They're based up in Great Baddow. They're really, really good. They make fantastic beer. And sadly, thanks to life, I couldn't buy any today because I didn't have time. So I'm drinking somebody else's beer out of their pint glass, which I'm sure they'll appreciate massively. But I like to be honest. Their beer is actually better. Although this will do for the next couple of hours. Our other sponsor is the wonderful McGovern & Co. Brian McGovern's estate agency. They're truly fantastic. They're going great guns. They're relatively new. But if you know Brian, then you'll know he's a fabulously nice chap and a real pillar of the local community. If you don't know Brian, well, you should do, because he's a really lovely chap and a real pillar of the community. He's a fabulous, fabulous man, and he's a very, very good estate agent indeed. He dealt with us on our property. So, yeah, you can trust him. He knows what he's talking about. The only other bit of business before we get going that I need to address is that if you were here for the last quiz, you'll be aware of this. But if not, I want to point it out before everybody comments on it. I didn't paint this very well, I know, and I still haven't fixed it. Thanks, we got that out of the way. So hopefully you're all on board, you're all watching and ready to go, and we can get started. Let me just bring up my iPad so that I can keep a bit of a monitoring on the YouTube chat and make sure you're all there. He says, looking down so that you can just see the top of my head, which makes for brilliant, brilliant viewing. Oh, here we are. We can hear you. The band of the Coldstream Guards. Yes, excellent constructive stuff all round. Yeah, great. There we go. Marvellous. Hopefully we can get started. Thanks to everybody for getting on the chat thing and communicating. It does help so that I know when I go weird or the sound ends or whatever it may be. So do keep that up. But don't spoil it for anyone. I don't want any answers on there. I want it to be kept nice. This is a nice quiz for nice people. If you've just joined, I haven't lost my shit completely. It's just a public health and safety announcement for YouTube chat. Please keep it nice. Right. So, without further ado, I suppose we should get started, and you'll notice there was a lack of local music. I wanted to play some more, but it did cause a problem with Facebook last time, so I didn't want to jeopardise it this time. I'm going to check this time, and then if we do it again, we'll have some lovely local music to fill in the breaks and the gaps. But this time round, you probably have to just put your radio on, if such a thing still exists in the modern home. Well, without further ado, hopefully you all have pens in hand, brains engaged, and you're ready to take part. This is round 1. And round 1 is called Last Lines. God, I made these things really slow. That's going to drive me mad for the rest of the night. Anyway, last lines. We're going to read out some last lines of songs. Really famous ones that you will know. I just want you to name the song. That's all you got to do for the point. Is give me the name of the song the last line I read out is from. Super, super simple. You'll understand, you'll get it from the first one, and you'll get all of them right, I'm sure. So, round one, question one. The last line of the song is a mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido, a denial, 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 a denial. That's question one. If you've just tuned in without any of the context, you will assume that I've gone completely insane. I'll repeat that for you though. That's question one of round one. It's the last line of a song. All you got to do is name the song. A mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido, a denial, 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 a denial. That's your last line. So the name of the song, that is the last line of. Oh, we've got somebody who can't hear me. That's a worry. It seems to be coming up fine. Hopefully you can all hear me. If you can, then please let me know. However you find it best to let me know. You can message me, send me a text, or comment on the YouTube chat. In the meantime, we'll carry on until I know more. Question two. The quote is, the last line of the song. Life has a funny, funny way of helping you out. Helping you out. That's the last line of the song is, life has a funny, funny way of helping you out. Helping you out. We're looking for the name of the song. There we are, that's me doing a little bit of YouTube chat and you getting to see the top of my head. It's great fun. What I might do in the first break is just put my iPad up here so that I can see it without having to look down. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Question three in round one. It's the last line of a song, and the last line is, this'll be the day that I die. That's, this'll be the day that I die. It's the last line of a song. I'm just looking for the name of the song. Question four. The last line is, just give me a kiss. These are not instructions or requests, just to be very, very clear. That's the last line for question four is, just give me a kiss. Now I will repeat some of these if any of you missed them. I'm trying to give you a nice amount of time without making it too boring. So without further ado, question five. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. That's question five. The last line of a song, and we're looking for the name of the song. These are all incredibly famous songs, I should point out. Most of you should know all of them, ideally, or at least most of them. So that's question five's last line was, you are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. The mayor has arrived. The mayor has arrived. Missed the first few questions. I will repeat them for you since you are the mayor. Jude, it's just polite for me, Jude, to repeat them for you. Nothing to do with your social standing or the fact that you might leverage me some kind of benefits in some way from your official standing. Obviously, that doesn't go on, ever. Just to be very clear. Question 6. If you're out of luck or out of work, we could send you to Johannesburg. So these are the last lines of very famous songs. So we're going to be saying out the last line of the song, and then you're going to be giving the actual name of the song itself. So you can write that down and check it when we get to the end of the 2 rounds and I read out the answers. So just to repeat that, question 6 was, if you're out of luck or out of work, we could send you to Johannesburg. Last line of the song, we're looking for the name of the song. Question 7 in round 1. The last line is, glad that you're bound to return. There's something I could have learned. You're indestructible. Always believe in. Sounds quite dramatic when you say it like that. That's question 7. Glad that you're bound to return. There's something that I could have learned. You're indestructible. Always believe in. Name of the song. That's what we're looking for. And finally, question 8. Oh, I'll give you a moment there. Oh, you've been here the whole time. Excellent. There we are. The Mayor's Party is here. They just told me that 10 minutes after we started. Thanks, Helen. That's all good. I will ask if you need any of these repeated. Anybody does, please do let me know. Question 8, final question in round 1. The last line of the song is Any Way the Wind Blows. So it's the last line of the song is Any Way the Wind Blows. Super easy round. I'm sure you've all got all 8 of those. I'll whiz through them anyway because that's going to make everything a bit easier because we've got a request for 5 again. So 1 was a mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido, a denial, 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 a denial. Question 2 was life has a funny, funny way of helping you out. Helping you out. Question 3. This'll be the day that I die. Question 4. Just give me a kiss. Question 5. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Question 6. If you're out of luck and out of work, we could send you to Johannesburg. Question 7. Glad that you're bound to return. There's something I could have learned. You're indestructible. Always believe in. And question 8. Any way the wind blows. So that's Any Way the Wind Blows. Question 8. Wonderful. I'm sure you've all done terrifically well. I'm guessing anyway. Now moving on to round 2. Because hopefully you've all got all of 8 of round 1 absolutely spot on. Round 2. This round is called Then and Now. We're going to show you some pictures of bands. And those pictures are going to be pictures of them back then when they were young. And all I want you to do is name the act, the musical act that you're seeing a picture of when they were young. But there is one that is a picture of a band now, and I want you to tell me who they were then. But we'll come to that. So, pictures of musical acts when they were young, and I want you to name the act. So, question 1. That is some stunning hair. Speaking of stunning hair, question 2. Name the musical act. I will play this through twice for everybody because it's that exciting. Question 3. That's an amazing photo of a great band. And question 4. They look so young. And hopefully sponsored by Foster's, as most teenage parties were. Next up, question 5. So it's famous musical acts when they were young. Back then, I'm looking for the name of the act. Very simple. I appear to have turned into Whispering Bob Harris for this section. Coming up now is question 6. And then question 7. Some more superb hair. I'm fairly sure the gentleman on the right is a Labradoodle. And finally, question 8. Now this is them. Now, I want you to tell me who they were then. Very simple. I'm sure you've all done incredibly well there without any major difficulties whatsoever, but I'm going to play that again for you just so that you get a chance to look at the pictures again in case there's one you missed, one you weren't sure of, or one when you watch it back you realise you're an absolute bloody idiot and got it completely wrong. You never know, it might be the case. So let's just take a look at those pictures again, and remember, we're looking at photos of them then, and I want you to tell me who they are. And then the last one is a picture of them now, and I want you to tell me who they were then. It's lucky that isn't confusing. So here's a lovely bunch of young men looking incredibly young with terrible hair. Just want the name of the musical act. Question 2. And this is question 3. Looking like a very young and cool Matt Poole at the front there. If you know who that is, that's quite entertaining. If you don't, it's irrelevant. Welcome to a local quiz. Question 4. Looking like every young man, every group of young men in 1999, 2000, I would say. Acne and everything. Question 5. Hopefully you've enjoyed the dulcet tones of me pouring another glass of fantastically strong beer, ready for prime consumption during the rest of the quiz. I should probably slow it down a touch, otherwise the last round will be quite entertaining. Here's question 6. Quite a corny photo for a band so cool. It's because there's corn in the picture. Just anyway. Question 7. An image I like to call 4 trees, 4 spaniels, and some ridiculously nice shoes. And finally, this is them now. I want to know who they were then. So you should have a list of 8 musical acts in front of you. And all of them the correct answers, I'm sure. There we go. That was round 2. Incredibly easy, incredibly simple, hopefully quite good fun, and I'm sure you've done really, really well. Now, after every 2 rounds, we're going to be counting up the answers, so I'm going to read out all the answers for you, and you can score yourselves, and I'm asking for a degree of honesty when you're marking, because it kind of makes the whole thing work if you're honest. If you cheat, you're only cheating yourselves, or if you cheat, you're making yourself look really good in front of other people, because they won't know either. But don't cheat. It ruins it for somebody, I'm sure. So, let's go through those answers. Round 1, last lines. That's last lines of famous songs. All we were looking for is the name of the song. So, question 1, a mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, a my libido, a denial, 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 a denial. Repetition is a form of comedy. That is, of course, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Question 2. Life has a funny, funny way of helping you out. Helping you out is ironic. Alanis Morissette. Question 3. This'll be the day that I die. American Pie, Don McLean. Or McLean. I've never really thought about that. McLean. It's McLean. Question 4. Just give me a kiss. It's Walk This Way. Aerosmith. Question 5. You're all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. That is Fly Me to the Moon, originally recorded by Kate Ballard, but of course made famous by, crikey, what's his name now? Frank Sinatra? I think he's quite well known. Question 6. If you're out of luck or out of work, we would send you to Johannesburg. Oliver's Army, Elvis Costello. Question 7. Glad that you're bound to return. There's something that I could have learned. You're indestructible. Always believe in gold. Spandau Ballet. Question 8. Any Way the Wind Blows. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Super, super easy. I'm sure you've done incredibly well on that round. Now, moving on to round 2. Those wonderful images of those bands. Now, what I will do is I will skip forward. I will give you the names as we look at the pictures. So that's question 1, and that was the Backstreet Boys. Question 2. Is Slade pre-glam? They're in their Doc Martens and skinhead phase. Question 3. Picture 3. Is Green Day, of course. Unmistakably so, once you know. Hopefully you all got it right. Number 4, looking incredibly young, that's the Arctic Monkeys. Question 5, that's the Rolling Stones. Unmistakable looking band. Question 6, that would be Nirvana. The wonderful Dave Grohl on the left there. Question 7, Black Sabbath. You can see Ozzy there, looking incredibly young and undrug damaged. And finally, this is them now. Who were they then? It is, of course, Hanson. They of Mbop, which I will still maintain is one of the greatest pop songs of all time. Many people disagree with me, but they're all wrong. Excellent. So hopefully you've all done really, really well in those first 2 rounds. Feel free to share some scores on the YouTube chat so that people can see how they're doing, how you're doing, and all of that kind of nonsense, and feel like they've got a sense of belonging in a group. Because you're going to have a few minutes to chat amongst yourselves whilst I take a brief break and get everything ready for round 3 and 4. We'll be back in, let's say, 5 minutes, maybe 6. However long it takes me to drink another pint of beer. See you in a mo. Hello! Welcome back. Hopefully the sound is on, you can see me, and everything's good. You should hopefully also have had a nice break, gone for a wee, got yourself a drink, done whatever it is you need to do. Hopefully you've all had plenty of time. Oh, it seems like the chat section has turned into a social club. Hi everyone. Hi Andrea. Hi Caroline. Hi Linda. Hi all. I don't know why I did that voice. I'm so sorry. Some good scores in there though. We've got 10, we've got 9, 4, 16. Very impressive 16. 10 out of 16, very good. 12. Some impressive scores all the way around. Very good. Do you get points for the lowest score, Andrea? Yeah, why not? At the end, I'll give you an extra point if you're the lowest score by more than 2 points. It'll really make all the difference. But thanks for playing along. It's lovely to have you there. Oh, thank you. Matt, you got all of them. That's impressive. Crikey. Well done if you did really, really well. Hopefully the next 2 rounds will sort you out. And no, hopefully the next 2 rounds you'll do equally well and get them all right. It's not necessarily the case. Good evening, Martin and Vicky as well. Hello, all of you. So the next 2 rounds are coming up in just a moment. But before that, just a quick word about our sponsors, Chelmsford Brew Co. and McGovern & Co. Chelmsford Brew Co. make brilliant beer. McGovern & Co. are brilliant estate agents. That's as good as my adverts get. If I was really talented, I'd make them into a song or something, but I just don't have the time or the effort available. But they're both brilliant sponsors, so please do check them out. And if you do want beer, Chelmsford Brew Co. are amazing. If you want to sell your house, Brian will sort you out at McGovern & Co. Round 3 coming up right now for you. It's Lockdown Movies 2. That's a dramatic name. I don't know if you remember, but last year we did one of these quizzes in the lockdown, the first lockdown, and we did a little movie round about the lockdown impact on the movie scene. So we're going to do another little follow-up, so a bit more of the impact on movies, but also some of the films that have come out during lockdown 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. So, pencils to paper, pay attention. Question 1, round 3. Which 2011 movie by Steven Soderbergh, starring Matt Damon and Kate Winslet, became a rather unlikely and unsettling hit again during lockdown? So that's which 2011 movie by Steven Soderbergh, starring Matt Damon and Kate Winslet, became a rather unlikely and unsettling hit again during lockdown? Question 2. The Pixar movie Soul was released on their video-on-demand service, Disney Plus, on Christmas Day because of COVID-19. But which actor and singer voiced the lead character Joe? So that's question 2. The Pixar movie Soul, fantastic film, was released on the VOD service Disney Plus on Christmas Day because of COVID-19. But which actor and singer voiced the lead character Joe? Question 3. Speaking of Disney Plus, which movie originally slated for a big cinema release and starring Kelly Marie Tran and Awkwafina was released on the service on the 5th of March this year? It's the next big female-led animated feature from Disney. And it was originally slated for a big cinema release and starring Kelly Marie Tran and Awkwafina. And it was released instead on the Disney Plus service on the 5th of March this year. What is the name of the film? And thank you very much to Vicky for putting that song in my head. The wonderful Tony Basil's Hey Mickey. It's so annoying and it's now stuck in my mind completely. Sorry, reading the YouTube chat there. Probably should be paying attention to question 4. Scarlett Johansson plays the lead in which movie due out on the 7th of May this year, but originally slated for release on the 1st of May 2020. It's coming out a whole year and 6 days late. So that's question 4. Scarlett Johansson plays the lead in which movie due out on the 7th of May this year, but originally slated for release on the 1st of May 2020. Question 5. Who starred in the film Extraction? We're looking for the lead actor. Released during the first lockdown to mostly negative reviews, but then becoming the most watched Netflix original movie. So that's who was the star of the film Extraction, released during the first lockdown to mostly negative reviews, but becoming the most watched Netflix original movie. Question 6. The 25th instalment of the Bond franchise will finally hit screens, hopefully, in which month of this year? So that's the 25th instalment of the Bond franchise will finally hit screens in which month of this year? Definitely not vaping. No one saw that. Totally hidden it. Fantastic. It's the way it's now clouding around this light, just to make it super obvious. Question 7. Bill and Ted Face the Music featured Keanu Reeves returning as the wonderful Ted Theodore Logan and as William S. Preston Esquire. Which actor? So that's question 7. Bill and Ted Face the Music featured Keanu Reeves returning as Ted Theodore Logan and as William S. Preston Esquire. Which actor? So who played Ted's friend Bill in Bill and Ted Face the Music? I'll just subtly vape one more time. Look, no one's going to notice if I do this. If I cover it with my hand, look. Yeah, subtle. Ah, so much better than when I was smoking, though. Right, do you need any of those to be repeated? Anyone? Let me know on the YouTube chat. Direct message me, although I probably won't see that. And we'll repeat those for you. If not, I'll run very quickly through them all, just so that you get to hear them again in case you missed any. Although it looks like no one's missed any of them. This is marvellous. Saves me the breath. I'll do it super quick. Question 1 in round 3 was which 2011 movie by Steven Soderbergh featuring Matt Damon and Kate Winslet became a rather unlikely and unsettling hit again during lockdown? Question 2. The Pixar movie Soul was released on the VOD service Disney Plus on Christmas Day because of COVID-19, but which actor and singer voiced the lead character Joe? And question 3. Speaking of Disney Plus, which movie originally slated for a big cinema release and starring Kelly Marie Tran and Awkwafina was released on the service on the 5th of March this year? Question 4. Scarlett Johansson plays the lead in which movie due out on the 7th of May this year, but originally slated for release on the 1st of May 2020? Question 5. Who starred in the film Extraction, released during the first lockdown, mostly negative reviews, but becoming the most watched Netflix original movie at the time? Question 6. The 25th instalment of the Bond franchise will finally hit screens, hopefully in which month of this year? That's the 30th of September. Question 7. Bill and Ted Face the Music featured Keanu Reeves returning as Ted Theodore Logan and as William S. Preston Esquire. Which actor? So we're looking for the actor that played William S. Preston Esquire. And thanks to the fact that I hadn't previously turned over to the next page on my screen, question 8. Just 1 week from its original release date in March last year, which horror movie sequel was delayed by writer-director John Krasinski until September 2020 and now won't be out until September 2021? So it's question 8, which I missed out the first time round because I'm an idiot, and that is just 1 week from its original release date in March last year, which horror movie sequel was delayed by writer-director John Krasinski until September 2020 and now won't be out until September 2021. And that's all of round 3. Hopefully you've all done incredibly well. Just checking out the YouTube chat, and everyone seems to be getting on fine. No one's asking for any repeated questions, and everyone can hear me. I mean, it's almost like it's not something that I've organised because everything's going so smoothly. You never know. There could be an absolute disaster yet. Give it time. Looking at that, though, I think it's time we moved on to round 4. Here we go. I was about to say, what do you think? But actually, I don't care what you think, because I'm doing it anyway. Round 4. And this round is much more of a straightforward sort of round, and it's because I couldn't think of anything more relevant than lockdown television. Lockdown television. So that is, instead of movies, questions related to lockdown and TV. Super, super, super easy. So, question 1. Which TV show moved to a Welsh castle because of COVID-19? So that's question 1. Round 4. Which TV show moved to a Which TV show moved to a Welsh castle because of COVID-19? That's a Welsh castle. Now I've said it a few times, it sounds like it should be slang for something. What is a Welsh castle? Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm just laying a Welsh castle in the garden. Could be anything. Anyway, question 1. Which TV show moved to a Welsh castle because of COVID-19? Question 2. During the famed Oprah interview, the Duke and Duchess introduced Oprah to which type of rescue animal? That's question 2. During the famed Oprah interview, the Duke and Duchess introduced Oprah to which type of rescue animal? Question 3. In I Hate Susie, a massively successful show for Sky, I believe, the title character is terrified that explicit images of her and her lover being leaked will lose her a role as a Disney princess. But who played Susie and co-wrote the show? So that's question 3. In I Hate Susie, the title character is terrified that explicit images of her and her lover being leaked will lose her a role in as a Disney princess. But who played Susie and also co-wrote the show? Question 4. In which smash hit series did an orphanage janitor teach a little girl a game that would change her life forever? So that's question 4. In which smash hit series did an orphanage janitor teach a little girl a game that would change her life forever. That's not the official plot synopsis. It is much more interesting than that. And question 5. Unorthodox was a critically successful lockdown hit that was the first show on the Netflix service to predominantly feature which language spoken? So that's question 5. Unorthodox was a critically successful lockdown hit for Netflix that was the first show on the service to predominantly feature which spoken language? Don't know why I'm doing that. Some kind of weird presidential hand motions to support the seriousness of that question and of that TV show. But it was a very good show. You should watch it. Not what you expect. Question 6. David Tennant, or as I've somehow mistyped on my question sheet, David Tennis, received universal acclaim for his portrayal of which serial killer in the hit drama Des? So that's David Tennis, or Tennant. David Tennant received universal acclaim for his portrayal of which serial killer in the hit drama Des? Now, question 7 is pretty much an excuse for me to use one of my favourite quotes of the past year. So, question 7. Charlie Brooker said of which prominent figure on lockdown television that he looked like Tintin prematurely aged after watching his dog drown? So that's question 7. Charlie Brooker said of which prominent figure on lockdown television that he looked like Tintin prematurely aged after watching his dog drown. It's a superb line. And question 8. True or false? The makers of The Crown, initially, in an attempt to help Gillian Anderson look more like Margaret Thatcher, put blue tack on her gums. It's obviously hugely popular series The Crown. True or false? The makers of The Crown, initially, in an attempt to help Gillian Anderson look more like Margaret Thatcher, put blue tack on her gums. And on the chat, it looks like the alcohol has finally hit Matt Poole, and he's turned into a cross between Matt Berry and Bob Mortimer. If you're not looking at the chat, it would make much more sense if you were. But you don't have to. So that was round 4, Lockdown TV. Hopefully you've all done incredibly well on that round. And of course the round before it. And we can go through the scores. But I will ask you to get in touch if you need any of those repeated. If you can put it on the Facebook chat, not the Facebook chat, the YouTube chat, whatever chat it is. Chit chat, rabbit. No, put it on the YouTube chat, or you can message me directly and I will try and check that now without looking like I'm checking my messages. I'm very limited in what I can do. I've got 5 screens in front of me. No direct messages. This is good. Let's just check Facebook to see if anyone's got hold of me on that. That's my face. I don't want to look at that. Christ, I feel bad for the fact that all of you have to. There we go. No, it all looks good. No one needs any repeated. Everything's fine. Well done. Round 3 and 4 in the bag. And it's only 8 minutes to 9. This is marvellous. So we'll go through the answers and then we'll take a short break. So, here are the answers to round 3. lockdown movies. Question 1 was which 2011 movie by Steven Soderbergh, starring Matt Damon and Kate Winslet, became a rather unlikely and unsettling hit again during lockdown? It was Contagion. It's an excellent film, but not one I want to watch at the moment. But it went straight to the top of the iTunes movies list, and it was streamed wherever it was available massively after this all started. Question 2. The Pixar movie Soul was released on Disney Plus on Christmas Day because of COVID, but which actor and singer voiced the lead character Joe? It is the extraordinary Jamie Foxx, because he's got 2 X's at the end. Jamie Foxx. Foxx? It was Jamie Foxx. Question 3. Speaking of Disney Plus, which movie originally slated for a big cinema release and starring Kelly Marie Tran and the fabulous Awkwafina was released on the service on the 5th of March this year? It's called Raya and the Last Dragon. Apparently it's superb. Haven't seen it yet, but hope to soon. Fabulously exciting insight into my viewing life. Question 4. Scarlett Johansson plays the lead in which movie due out on the 7th of May this year, but originally slated for release on the 1st of May 2020. It was, of course, Black Widow. Question 5. Who starred in the film Extraction, released during the first lockdown to mostly negative reviews, but becoming the most watched Netflix original movie? It was Chris Hemsworth. I've had a message, so I'm going to check that seamlessly, whilst also talking to you all and going through these. So, question 6. The 25th instalment of the Bond franchise will finally hit screens, hopefully in which month of this year? It will be September, the 30th of September, to be precise. That was somebody sharing a picture of me on the television. That's tremendous. It was well worth the effort there. Thank you, Katie. That's very good. Right, so let's just bring that back up. And number 7, Bill and Ted Face the Music was released this year or last year in fact, featuring Keanu Reeves returning as Ted Theodore Logan and as William S. Preston Esquire. Which actor? It is, of course, Alex Winter, who is pretty much only famous for being in Bill and Ted. But hey, they're pretty famous for being in Bill and Ted. Question 8. Just 1 week from its original release date in March last year, which horror movie sequel was delayed by writer-director John Krasinski until September 2020 and now won't be out until September 2021? It's A Quiet Place 2. Very good first movie, apparently. I'm not big on horror films, so I haven't actually watched it yet, but I probably would enjoy it. It's nice to know that they spent so much time thinking about what to call the sequel. Round 4. Round 4 was Lockdown TV. Lockdown TV included questions such as: Question 1. Which TV show moved to a Welsh castle because of COVID-19? It was I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Question 2. During the famed Oprah interview, the Duke and Duchess introduced Oprah to which type of rescue animal? Chickens. A chicken coop on the grounds of their £14 million mansion. Question 3. In I Hate Susie, the title character is terrified that explicit images will be shared and ruin her chances to be a Disney princess or a Disney character in a film. But who played Susie and co-wrote the show? It's Billie Piper. I don't know why she decided to make that show. I'm presuming it's because she wanted to. I'm so sorry. Question 4. In which smash hit series did an orphanage janitor teach a little girl a game that would change her life forever? It was The Queen's Gambit. Probably one of my favourite things we watched last year. Question 5. Unorthodox was a critically successful lockdown hit for Netflix. It was the first show on the service to predominantly feature which language? It was Yiddish. Whole swathes of it in Yiddish, which actually is really, really good in terms of enhancing the scene, the setting and everything else, and noticeably something you don't see often. So, yeah, fascinating. You didn't ask for that insight, but it gave me time to cover the fact that I had to scroll down. Question 6. David Tennant received universal acclaim for his portrayal of which serial killer in the hit drama Des? It was, of course, Dennis Nilsen, the terrifying guy who kept bits of his victims in his flat. Question 7. Wonderful quote. Charlie Brooker said of which prominent figure on lockdown television that he looked like Tintin prematurely aged after watching his dog drown was Chris Whitty. He said that Chris Whitty looked like Tintin had prematurely aged after watching his dog drown. That's why I love Charlie Brooker. Question 8. True or false? The makers of The Crown, initially in an attempt to help Gillian Anderson look more like Margaret Thatcher, put blue tack on her gums. And that's true. I'd love to know why they did it, but I don't. So I shall leave it hanging as a truth that we must accept. And that's it. That's those 2 rounds. We've got another 2 rounds to go. And the last round is double points. There's an opportunity to get 16 points in 1 round at the end of the quiz. But in the meantime, you should hopefully have totted up all of your scores. Not quite sure what totted up really means, but you've totted them up anyway. You've done your totting, and we shall totter off into a short break. Whoa. Before we go into the break, I must just add, Aaron has pointed out that Alex Winter was in The Lost Boys, and his wife is cross that I didn't acknowledge it. And I have to say I'm really, really sorry, Aaron. You're quite correct, and I am actually slightly ashamed that I didn't mention that. Close call, but thanks for pulling me up on it. Hello, hello, hello again. How lovely to be back with you. Hopefully I've turned the mic back on. I have, and the visuals are back on. This is great. Everything appears to be working, and we've got some scores in as well. Admittedly there, for a moment, I was quite contentedly just drinking beer and watching the credits loop thing with the sponsors on, just admiring my own titles work. And that's the main reason I do these quizzes, because I get to piss about with After Effects and make some title sequences. There's nothing I love more. Oh, and it's also for charity. It is also for charity. And I should say that it is free to take part. You don't actually have to make a donation to charity at all. Do not feel pressured into it, especially if your money is tight at the moment thanks to the horror of the past year. But if you do have a couple of pounds and you've really enjoyed the evening, at the end of the quiz, feel free to visit justgiving.com/crowdfunding/ Big Entertainment Quiz 2021. I will post the link into the group once we finish as well, so that you can go there and donate £1, £5, whatever you can afford, to just pass over to the Mayor of Chelmsford's charities. And those charities are Sanctus, Mind, Mid and North Essex, and Helping Hands. So they're really good charities. They work with vulnerable people, people who need the help, people who need to be represented, so including the homeless as well. And they're great. So please do, if you get the chance, be generous and donate some money, but only if you can. Don't worry if you can't. Equally, thanks to our sponsors, we will be drawing from the pot of people who've been taking part this evening for some free beer from the Chelmsford Brew Company, who are a genuinely brilliant and lovely group of people making fabulous beer. And oh my goodness me, you've all gone. You've all gone. What's happened there? My stand stopped working. That's what's happened there. So I'm going to hold it. But you can also visit our other sponsor, McGovern & Co., the fabulous Brian McGovern estate agency, where he'll be able to help you sell your house or buy a new house. He's a lovely chap. He's great. I'm going to have to do the rest of this with one hand on the camera whilst I wait for it to charge up enough so that it'll actually carry on working. So if you just bear with me one moment. Oh, I thought it was going so well without any problems. No problems at all. He says, swearing furiously off camera at his equipment. Oh, that sounds a bit weird. I wasn't swearing at my equipment. Let's never speak of that again. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this down here and just prop it up ever so slightly. Oh my God, this is now a really unflattering angle. Fantastic. Okay, are you ready for this? Hi, welcome back to the now fancy standless Andy Poole's Big Entertainment Quiz. I've now got more chins. That's what's happened here. That's how this has occurred. So thanks for that. Thanks to the stand breaking. And we'll just carry on and pretend that I still have just one chin, and not the many that you can see here. Oh, this is an unflattering angle. Right, so we have got 2 more rounds to go. Both of those rounds are the same sort of thing as before. It's all entertainment based ish. But the last round has 16 points available. So you can score double points effectively on that round if you get them all right. And you could whiz back up the score table. So we've got some people who've been doing really, really well. The Lost Face there, 26 out of 32. 9 out of 32. It's not so great, but, you know, it's a tough quiz if you don't know the answers. 7 in those 2 rounds. Okay, that's on top of the others, so it's not so bad. 19, 20. Oh, this is good scores here. Oh, and hello, John Hill and John and Sarah. Hi, nice to have you with us. I hope you're having fun with this. You are. You're enjoying it so much because I'm brilliant. That's great, isn't it? And it's true. We're going to jump straight on to the next round. Now, this is a bit of a tenuous one because, quite frankly, I've had a really busy, odd week and I left this entirely to the last minute. So, this next is very tenuous. There was once a TV series called Food and Drink on the BBC, and it was great. So this round is on Food and Drink. Yay! It made sense in my head. To be honest with you, I completely forgot it was an entertainment quiz. But there was a TV show called Food and Drink, so this is definitely still staying in. Oh, what an absolute joy. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm still on camera. Round 5. Food and Drink. Just some questions on the subjects of food and drink. Question 1. Considered one of the oldest chocolate bar brands in the world and launched by J.S. Fry & Sons in 1866, what is now owned by Cadbury and their oldest product brand? So it's a chocolate bar and it's Cadbury's oldest brand that they own, and they bought it off of J.S. Fry & Sons, who had been making it since 1866. Hopefully that's nice and clear. So I'll repeat that. Considered one of the oldest chocolate bar brands in the world and launched by J.S. Fry & Sons in 1866, what is now owned by Cadbury and their oldest product? I'm just going to gradually build up this stand so it's a bit higher, and no one's going to notice. No one's going to notice at all because it's going to be so smooth. So smooth. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, no one noticed. That was fantastic. It's like magic. Question 2. Which nuts are used in marzipan? That's it. That's question 2. Which nuts are used in marzipan? That's as thrillingly complex as question 2 gets. Question 3. What is tasseography? So that's question 3. What? Subtle, very subtle. What is tasseography? That's what we're looking for. Question 3. Oh, it's better. There we are. So that's question 3 was what is tasseography? Question 4. Peppy, P-E-P-P-Y, is the official name of the polar bear found on which famous edible item? So that's Peppy is the name of the polar bear found on which famous edible item? I'm going to turn this camera upside down. Look at that. Barely even noticed. Yeah. This is like high quality mainstream television. Question 5. What is tofu made from? So that's question 5. What is tofu made from? Question 6. What type of beans are used to make baked beans? So we're talking about the tinned baked beans. What type of beans are used to make them? Looking for the type of beans used to make baked beans. Don't think there's any other way of saying that. Baked beans. What beans are made of them? Yes. What beans are used to make baked beans? That's question 6. Question 7. In which year did MasterChef, the TV series, first appear on television in the UK? So that's in which year did MasterChef first appear on television in the UK? It's a great show. I remember watching it as a kid with my mum. Hi, Mum. And loving it back then. And that'll give you a bit of a clue if you can work out my age, which is obviously under 40 because I've yet to have my 40th birthday, which definitely didn't happen during lockdown. Question 8. Last question in this round. From which flour do we derive the super expensive spice saffron? So that's from which flour do we derive the super expensive spice saffron? Super easy little round. Food and drink. In a big entertainment quiz. It's entertainment related because we're mimicking the 1980s and early 90s TV show Food and Drink on the BBC. That's definitely not backwards explanation for why I cocked up there. Definitely not. Food and drink. Part of entertainment. Do you need any of those repeated? Let me know in the YouTube chat just underneath this window in which you're viewing this, or if you're viewing on television, probably on the adjacent device from which you're streaming, or if you're just streaming it straight off of a TV box. I've got no fucking clue how to do it, so find the chat. Hey. Probably should look that up. Round 6. Round 6 is ahead of us if nobody needs any of round 5 repeated, which is fabulous. If you don't, round 6 is 16 points. Oh, my father's requested question 3, so I'm going to go for that. Question 3 in round 5 was, what is tasseography? If you break it down into its component words, it might help you out. That's what is tasseography. That was question 3. Any others that you might need, do comment. I will stop and just do them. I mean, this is the least professional quiz you're likely to enjoy on the internet today, or any day, really. So just comment and I'll probably reference it. But we are going to move on to the final round. Round 6. That's right, we're going to finish the way we started, with the starting of the finishing, with the finish of the start. We started with the lines of the first. I had a good line written for this, but I just don't have a script. We started tonight's quiz with the last lines of songs, and we're going to finish with a quiz on the first lines of movies. There we go. We started with the... Anyway, I'm going to read out the first line of very famous movies, 16 of them, and all you got to do is name the film. I'm not even looking for the years, nothing like that, just the name of the film. So if you get the name of the film, you write it down on the paper, you've got 16 of them, you get 16 points out of one round. It could make all the difference and bring you back up from behind if you're behind, or extend your lead if you're ahead. So this is the final round. Oh, no video. Look at that. That's a disappointment. I mean, who'd want to miss out on this beautiful face? That's the screen grab I'm going to use for advertising this next one. So this is the final round. Hopefully you can now see me. It was literally just because I hadn't pressed a button. So if we scroll down here, there are 16 first lines of movies that I'm going to read out for you. And you just have to write down the name of the film. I'm going to be quite strict on the names of the films in some cases, but we'll see how we go. Question 1. Hopefully you can now see me. Everybody seen me? Because there was a slight delay here, just to be sure of this. Oh, that's not question 1, by the way. That's not the first line of a film. That would be really weird. And quite prescient and crossing over with what we... Anyway, never mind. Question 1. 3 billion human lives ended on August the 29th, 1997. So that's question 1. The quote is, first line of the film. 3 billion human lives ended on August the 29th, 1997. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Visuals are back. How would you have coped without my face? So that's question 1, the quote, the first line of the film. We're looking for the name of the film. It's 3 billion human lives ended on August the 29th, 1997. In case you just tuned in without context, I would like to point out that's not true. That's just a quote from a film. The past year could be true. We just don't know. Question 2. First line of film. I'm looking for the name of the film. The quote is, "My name is Lester Burnham. This is my neighbourhood. This is my street. This is my life. I am 42 years old. In less than a year, I will be dead." That's the quote. I'll repeat that for you. It's, "My name is Lester Burnham. This is my neighbourhood. This is my street. This is my life. I am 42 years old. In less than a year, I will be dead." I think it was delivered better in the film, but by a prick, so, you know. Question 3. First line of the film, and we're looking for the name of the film. And I will go through these quickly after I've done them once, but super quick, so that you get to hear them again. So, question 3, the quote is, "Somebody asked me today, Phil, if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you like to be?" So that's question 3. First line of the film is, "Somebody asked me today, Phil, if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you like to be?" If you ask me that question, I'd tell you that I'd like to be at Chelmsford Brew Company, drinking their fabulous beer. Question 4. The first line of a film, and this is a good one that everyone will know. The line is, "Life's not fair, is it? You see, I shall never be king, and you shall never see the light of another day. Adieu." That's the line. First line of a film that I'm going to bet every single person here has seen. I say every single person here, you're not really here, you're just kind of out there. What's here is a mad middle-aged man talking to a phone in front of 2 screens full of his face. Lockdown's taken its toll. It's a strange thing to be doing with your Friday night. Question 5. First line of the film, I'm looking for the name of the film, and the quote is, "All right, everyone, this is a stick-up. Don't anybody move. Now empty that safe." Very cowboy-esque sort of line. That's question 5. "All right, everyone, this is a stick-up. Don't anybody move. Now empty that safe." I was about to give a clue there. I did not. I may do on the return around when I repeat them. Question 6. An absolute classic quote, first line from a film. "I was 12 going on 13 the first time I saw a dead human being." What a great film it is as well. That's question 6. The first line is, "I was 12 going on 13 the first time I saw a dead human being." I'll let you have a think about that one whilst I subtly vape. Question 7. First line of the film. "The key to faking out the parents is the clammy hands." That's the first line of a film. Just got to name the film. And the first line for question 7 is, The key to faking out the parents is the clammy hands. Some super easy ones in here. And that include question 8. First line of the film. Choose life. Choose a job. Choose a career. Choose a family. That's question 8. Probably should do the accent. Choose life. Choose a job. Choose a career. Choose a family. I never knew Billy Connolly was in that particular film. He said the name of the film there and gave it all away. Question 9. Question 9. First line quote is, "There was me," that is Alex, "and my 3 droogs," that is Pete, Georgie Boy, and Dim. So that's question 9. There was me, that is Alex, and my 3 droogs, that is Pete, Georgie Boy, and Dim. I'm going to move my little question chart over to the left so that it looks less like I'm staring off into the middle distance. Attention to detail that adds the professionalism to this particular quiz. Question 10. First line of the film, the quote is, "It was the summer of 1963 when everybody called me baby, and it didn't occur to me to mind." So that's question 10. It was the summer of 1963 when everybody called me baby, and it didn't occur to me to mind. Oh, sorry, John. I will repeat the first 4 for you. John has just posted on the YouTube chat that he missed the first 4 questions because the YouTube cocked up. That's fine. No worries, man. I'll repeat them all, actually, again, but I'll pause a little bit over the first 4 so you get a second chance at it. And question 11. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. So that's question 11. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. I'll let you think about that one. Even though it's quite an easy one, I think you need a little bit of extra time. Roughly the same amount of time it takes me to go through there and get a beer from the fridge. Hold that thought. I mean, this is the stuff of TV gold. Who doesn't want to hear a man shouting from another room whilst getting a beer out? Oh! I'm back. Not pouring that beer. That's what you're watching a man do. What did you do with your Friday night? Well, at least 3 minutes of it was spent listening to a man get and open and pour a beer into a glass. That's better. Dry mouth. It's very weird sitting in a corner of a room talking to no one but yourself. Question 12. The quote, first line from a film. Too much garbage in your face. There's plenty of space out in space. BNL Starliners leaving each day. We'll clean up the mess while you're away. Cheers indeed. It should be a Chelmsford Brew Company beer, but it's actually Jagged Edge by Brewdog. Very nice it is too. Why, thank you, Kayla. That's much appreciated. I'm doing the thing where I'm talking to the YouTube chat, isn't it? That's not good. I'll just repeat that question. Question 12. Too much garbage in your face? There's plenty of space out in space. B&L Starliners leaving each day will clean up the mess whilst you're away. Name of the film. That's the first line off. That's what we're after. Question 13. What's really disturbing about this one, just to make very clear, is that I'm now older than this character was when he said this in that film. And that distresses me immensely. Anyway, question 13. The quote is, I'm 36 years old, I love my family, I love baseball, and I'm about to become a farmer. But until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life. Love that film. That's question 13, first line of a film. I'm 36 years old. I love my family. I love baseball. And I'm about to become a farmer. But until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life. It's a great opening line. You just got to write down which film it's the opening line of. That's how you do it. Question 14. We're nearly there. 16 questions. And I will rattle through them again for you. Pausing slowly on the first 4 for you, Chum and Sarah. Question 14. The quote is, the first line of the film, there must be a con like me in every prison in America. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer if that's your thing, a bottle of brandy to celebrate your kid's high school graduation. Damn near anything within reason. That's your quote, the first line of a film. You're looking for the name of the film. So that's question 14. I'll read that again. There must be a con like me in every prison in America. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer, if that's your thing, a bottle of brandy to celebrate your kid's high school graduation, damn near anything within reason. And question 15. I'll give you just a moment there, so I was rushing that a bit. Question 15. The quote is, I'm going back to Australia. I might never see you again. So we're looking for the film. That's the first line of, and the quote is, I'm going back to Australia. I might never see you again. That's as close as I can muster to a lady's voice. Probably a good thing. And finally, last but by no means least, a nice easy one for everyone to get. And the quote is, I owe everything to George Bailey. Help him, dear father. So that's question 16. I owe everything to George Bailey. Help him, dear father. Hopefully you've done incredibly well, but for John and Sarah I shall repeat the first 4 at normal speed, and then I shall whip through the rest of them at super fast speed, so you get to hear them just one more time before we go through all of the answers and find out who's won. Now, we would be giving away a prize for the winners, but we have no way to know which ones of you are cheating bastards. So instead, I'll ask you all at the very end of it to put your name up on the thing, and then I will draw out of a hat in some kind of random fashion the winner of some free beer from Chelmsford Brew Company. They will deliver it locally. If you are further afield, then I will take it for you and definitely deliver it to you when that is next an option. It won't be drunk by me before it gets to you at all. Let's go through those questions. 1 through 4 at normal speed. Question 1, the quote, the first line of the film, we're looking for the name of the film, is 3 billion human lives ended on August the 29th, 1997. I think actually because they're American they said it like this, without the accent. 3 billion human lives ended on August 29, 1997. Question 2 was, my name is Lester Burnham. This is my neighbourhood. This is my street. This is my life. I am 42 years old. In less than a year, I'll be dead. That's my name is Lester Burnham. This is my neighbourhood. This is my street. This is my life. I am 42 years old. In less than a year, I will be dead. Question 3 was, somebody asked me today, Phil, if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you like to be? That's question 3 was, somebody asked me today, Phil, if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you like to be? And question 4 was, life's not fair, is it? You see, I shall never be king, and you shall never see the light of another day. Adieu. So life's not fair, is it? You see, I shall never be king, and you shall never see the light of another day. Adieu. And then I'm going to go through the rest at slightly higher speed so it's not too boring for everybody. Question 5. All right, everyone, this is a stick-up. Don't anybody move. Now empty that safe. Question 6. I was 12 going on 13 the first time I saw a dead human being. Question 7. The key to faking out the parents is the clammy hands. Question 8. Choose life. Choose a job. Choose a career. Choose a family. Question 9. There was me, that is Alex, and my 3 droogs, that is Pete, Georgie Boy and Dim. Question 10. It was the summer of 1963 when everybody called me baby, and it didn't occur to me to mind. Question 11. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. Question 12. Too much garbage in your face? There's plenty of space. Out in space. BNL Starliners leaving each day. We'll clean up the mess while you're away. Question 13. I'm 36 years old. I love my family. I love baseball. And I'm about to become a farmer. But until I heard their voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life. Question 14. There must be a con like me in every prison in America. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer if that's your thing, a bottle of brandy to celebrate your kid's high school graduation. Damn near anything within reason. Question 15. I'm going back to Australia. I might never see you again. And question 16. I owe everything to George Bailey. Help him, dear father. That's the lot. That's the entirety of the questions being asked during this quiz, which is great. And it's all finished, and we just have to go through all of the answers. And then we find out how you've done. It'll be fantastic. Whatever that word was going to come out of my mouth was definitely going to be fantastic. Yes, absolutely true. Oh, I think it's quite strong. I think that's the problem. Right, let's do this. Food and drink, round 5. Here are the answers. Please be honest in your answers, and please mark yourself carefully as we go through them. Question 1. Considered one of the oldest chocolate bar brands in the world and launched by J.S. Fry and Sons in 1866, what is now owned by Cadbury and their oldest product? It is Fry's Chocolate Cream. A wonderful thing. It's basically chocolate wrapped around sugar, flavoured with mint. It's wonderful. Question 2. Which nuts are used in marzipan? Almonds. That's what that is. Question 3. What is tasseography? It's reading tea leaves to tell fortunes. So reading the tea leaves. Hopefully at least one or two of you got that right. Maybe, possibly. It was a bit weird. Question 4. Peppy is the name of the polar bear found on which famous edible item? It's Fox's Glacier Mints. Question 5. What is tofu made from? Bean curd. Question 6. What type of beans are used to make baked beans? Baked beans? Baked beans. We can call them baked beans. It's haricot beans. Haricot beans are the beans used to make baked beans, spelt haricot, if you're confused by my pronunciation. Question 7. In which year did MasterChef first appear on TV in the UK? It's an excellent, excellent question, and I can't actually see on here the answer to it. So I'm going to check that I've got it right. Let me just check that on my other document over here. Look at this. So smooth. So smooth. I'm normally better prepared, but it has been a really odd week. Very, very busy. I mean, you don't need to know that, but it's filling time whilst I type things into my iPad over here. It really is. It's covering everything exceptionally well. It was 1990. 1990 MasterChef started on TV in the UK. It's exactly what I thought it was, but I like to make sure I'm not completely wrong. Question 8. From which flower do we derive the super expensive spice saffron? It is the crocus. So that's all of your answers there. And then for the last round, let's just line that back up. Here we go. I'll whip through these. We're looking for the name of the film. You get a full point if it's right. Nothing if it's wrong. They're simple rules, aren't they? Question 1. 3 billion human lives ended on August 29, 1997. It is, of course, the opening line to Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Terminator 2 will do, but Terminator 2 Judgment Day is the correct answer in full. Question 2. My name is Lester Burnham. This is my neighbourhood. This is my street. This is my life. I am 42 years old. In less than a year, I will be dead. It's the opening line to American Beauty. A great film if you ignore the fact that there's an arsehole in it. Question 3. Somebody asked me today, Phil, if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you like to be? It's the extraordinary Groundhog Day. Question 4. Life's not fair, is it? You see, I shall never be king, and you shall never see the light of another day. Adieu is uttered by Scar, holding up a mouse that he's talking to in The Lion King. Question 5. All right, everyone, this is a stick-up. Don't anybody move. Now empty that safe. I believe it's said by the piggy bank character in Toy Story. Not the quote you'd expect to open it, but they're play acting at the beginning there. Question 6. I was 12 going on 13 the first time I saw a dead human being. It is the incredibly good Stand By Me, Rob Reiner's film about childhood. Probably the best film about being a kid I think ever made. Question 7. The key to faking out the parents is the clammy hands. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. No, I take it back. That's the best film about being a kid ever made. Question 8. Choose life, choose a job, choose a career, choose a family. It's Trainspotting. Trainspotting, the amazing film by Danny Boyle. Question 9. There Was Me, that is Alex, and my 3 droogs, that is Pete, Georgie Boy and Dim, spoken at the opening of A Clockwork Orange, famously banned film by its own director. Question 10. It was the summer of 1963 when everybody called me baby and it didn't occur to me to mind. I used to answer when people said, what was your favourite film when you were growing up? I used to answer Dirty Dancing because I genuinely loved it when I was a kid. I didn't realise that it was a film you're only supposed to like if you're a woman until much older. There's a fun story for you. But Dirty Dancing, that's the answer to number 10. Question 11. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster, very famously the opening line of Goodfellas, the best gangster movie. 12. Question 12. Too much garbage in your face, there's plenty of space out in space. B&L Starlines leaving each day will clean up the mess whilst you're away. It's a shit rap, but it's a great opening line from the film Wall-E. Amazing film, one of my favourites. Question 13. I'm 36 years old. I love my family, I love baseball, and I'm about to become a farmer. But until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life. The wonderful film Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. That's question 13, Field of Dreams. Question 14. There must be a con like me in every prison in America. I'm the guy who can get it for you. Cigarettes, a bag of reefer if that's your thing, a bottle of brandy to celebrate your kid's high school graduation, down to anything within reason, is uttered by the incredibly well-voiced Morgan Freeman at the opening to The Shawshank Redemption. The next line mentions Andy Dufresne, the wonderful character played by Tim Robbins in one of the greatest films ever made. Question 15. I'm going back to Australia. I might never see you again. It's possibly an even better film than Shawshank Redemption. It's from Greece. The opening line said by Sandy at the very start. I believe it was only quite late in the day when they cast Olivia Newton-John that they decided to make it the fact that she was Australian, to accommodate the fact that she probably, well, not only could she not act her way out of a paper bag, but she also probably couldn't do accents very well. Anyway, looked nice. Question 16. I owe everything to George Bailey. Help him, dear father. It's a Wonderful Life. Genuinely, one of the top 5 films ever made. Extraordinary film. And that's question 16. So that's the lot. That's the end of the quiz. You should all have your markings all done. You should know what you finally scored. And hopefully, therefore, you can share your scores on the YouTube chat and let us all know how you've done. I will post probably either later on tonight or tomorrow morning in the event page on Facebook to let you know how everybody's done, who came first and all of that sort of thing, if I can work it out. If I can't, it probably won't happen. If I forget, it probably won't happen. But I'll try and remember and share with you the joy of who did really well and who did not. If you get the chance, do remember that we are doing this to raise a few quid for the Mayor's charities. It's been a really difficult year for the Mayor, due to actually raise with her team and Assistant Mayor Linda all the money that they would normally raise through activities and events during the year, because obviously we couldn't have any. So we're doing little things like this to try and raise a few pounds here and there to help top up those coffers for the 3 charities that she's chosen. It's a really good cause, and you can go to justgiving.com/crowdfunding/Big Entertainment Quiz 2021. That's justgiving.com/crowdfunding/Big Entertainment Quiz 2021, and you can donate. Please only do so if you can afford to do so. It's been a tough year, so keep your money to yourself if you haven't got much, but if you have got some, do make a donation if you can. I will also ask you all to just comment or whatever. I can actually probably see it, to be honest. You don't need to do anything. I will put all of your names in the hat if you've been watching this and participating this evening, and pull it out at random. So, hang on, let me rephrase that. I'll put all your names into the hat and pull out a name from that at random. I won't just put it out at random. And I will give a crate of free beer from the wonderful Chelmsford Brew Company to the winners of that. That's a really nice little thing that they've offered to do. Well, they actually offered it for the first one. They didn't offer it directly for the second one because I didn't ask, because I forgot. So I'm just going to do that anyway. And, if they say no, I'll just pay for it. And you'll get some free beer if your name's pulled out the hat. Hey! They're really lovely guys, and they're worth checking out even if you don't get the free beer, because their booze is fantastic. They're only up the road in Great Baddow if you're local to Chelmsford. If you're not local to Chelmsford, I believe they do online sales and they will deliver, and they're really, really good beer. Honestly, genuinely, Radio Wave's the best. Get the Radio Wave, really good. Also check out McGovern & Co., our other sponsor tonight. Estate agents, local, run by Brian McGovern. Brian McGovern's a lovely, lovely man. He does a lot for charity himself with his organisation Call to Be Kind. I did a brilliant comedy gig with Jonathan Pye and Ria Lena and the lovely Luke Poulton at the beginning of last year. It was the last big show I did, an audience of 500 people instead of a picture of me on the screen in front of me. And it was tremendous, and it was raising money for his charity. He also has an estate agency, which is brilliant. And they really are great, and it's his way of coming through lockdown. It's really, really worked out well, and he's bloody good at what he does. So do check out McGovern & Co. if you're thinking of selling a property, if you need advice about selling a property or buying a property, or if you're thinking about buying a property. That's basically it. And yes, thank you very much, Helen. I will put the Just Giving link in the chat in just a moment. And hopefully you all enjoyed yourselves. You've done very well. I'm looking at those scores now. Thank you very, very much to everyone who took part. It's all right, John. 32 is actually a good score. I think they're sort of somewhere in the middle. Hopefully you had a fantastic evening, and we'll see you soon, or I'll see you soon, or somebody will see us soon, because we can actually meet up by the time we next do a quiz. It'll probably still be online, but then the one after that might actually be in a pub where we can sit down, have a beer, and be in the same space. Have a lovely, lovely evening. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'm probably going to go and watch Taskmaster and another episode of Parks and Recreation. Good night. Bye.